us to build on the successes that we have achieved in putting together the building blocks for trade, investment, business between the countries of East Africa.
What you are doing now, you are showing the unfairness of these borders. That's what you are showing, and I'm very happy that you are showing this. These borders, what right do they have to divide people like this?
President Ruto implored on Kenyans to take pride in the diversity of cultures and heritage in the country.
And then we have this for poultry trapping at night. And at the end of it all, men had to protect their home.
It is possible for us to belong to one community, but be different nationalities and celebrate those different nationalities. We can also be different communities as we are in Kenya, but also celebrate our nationality as one indivisible nation.
The head of state also unveiled projects worth 500 million shillings in Siaya County, including a donation of 100 million shillings to the fishing community in Nyanza region as part of support to the cultural festival.
Right there in Wichloom, we will be building a fish landing site at a cost of 100 million shillings to support the fishing community as part of taking this tradition and culture of fishing to the next level.
The president also opened the 400 million shillings Ramogi campus that will start admissions this month. Calls for concerted efforts among African nations in promoting regional integration were echoed by Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni.
For prosperity, number one, love Uganda, love Kenya, love Tanzania. But secondly, Uganda is not enough. Soko ya Uganda haitoshi. That's how we talk of our second principle is Pan-Africanism. Love Africa.
AUC candidate Raila Odinga called on African governments to work on measures to enhance inter-country trade to match up other continents.
This gathering here is not political. It's just cultural. To bring people together, people who share common culture. Because Waswahili wanasema ati mwacha mila ni mtumwa.
Yishoke Washira, Prime Edition.
The Directorate of Criminal Investigations, that's the DCI, is intensifying its search for Collins Jumaisi, the prime suspect in the Mukuru murders, by offering a cash reward for information leading to his arrest. Jumaisi has been on the run since his dramatic escape from Gigiri Police Station in August 2024, where he was awaiting murder charges. Authorities are calling on the public to come forward with any credible information regarding his whereabouts.
The Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI, has issued a fresh appeal for information on Collins Jumaisi, the prime suspect in the Mukuru murders, who remains at large after a daring escape from Gigiri Police Station last August. According to a statement released today, the investigative body is offering a significant cash reward to anyone who provides credible information that could lead to his rearrest. Jumaisi, a resident of Shiru sub-county in Vihiga County, was poised to face murder charges when he managed to escape from police custody alongside 12 Eritrean detainees. Eyewitnesses reported seeing Jumaisi and others leaving the station freely without any restraint as police officers appear to be distracted. DCI officials are urging anyone with information on Jumaisi whereabouts to come forward, emphasizing that all tips will be treated confidentially. The public can report via the anonymous hashtag Fichua kwa DCI hotline or any police station across the country. Authorities stress that every piece of information is crucial in bringing the suspect back in custody. Ben Chumba, Prime Edition.
A middle-aged woman and her daughter died on Thursday afternoon after jumping out of a moving vehicle in Kirinyaga County. The 14-seater matatu they were traveling in developed mechanical problems, and the deceased were among passengers who opted to jump out through the window to avoid being involved in what they thought would be an inevitable accident.
The 14-seater matatu was heading to Embu County from Karatina, Nyeri County, when its brakes allegedly failed upon reaching Kerugoya Stadium in Kirinyaga County. It is said that despite the driver warning passengers to remain calm as he attempted to contain the situation, some passengers started jumping out of the moving vehicle.
Watu ndio wamefungua slide na wakaanza kuruka mmoja kwa mwingine, lakini driver amewasihi msifungue mlango, nitajaribu kucontrol hii gari mpaka ifike kila mtu atafika kwenye anaenda. Lakini wengine wakasema kuliko nikufie hapa nikiona, kuliko nikufie mbele, wacha nikufie hapa. So wameanza kuruka mmoja mmoja na driver hage wazuia kuruka. So juu gari ilikuwa iko speed sana.
However, the panic action turned tragic after one middle-aged woman and her daughter lost their lives.
Tukasikia kuna mmoja ameruka. Sasa sisi tukaenda kuona huyo ameruka ako wapi. Tukamkuta pahali yako, alikuwa ameaga, alafu tukasikia kuna mwingine ameanguka Kerugoya Boys. Sasa tukaenda mpaka hapo Kerugoya Boys na tukaita ambulance ikakuja kumchukua.
The driver managed to control the vehicle at the Kirinyaga University College.
Lakini kwa wenye wamekaa ndani ya gari imefika hapa vizuri na sasa wameshuka wakiwa wazima. Na driver amejaribu juu kama unavyoweza kuona hii gari haina side mirror. Haina side mirror pande zote mbili na haina mlango ya slide. Juu wakati watu walifungua wakipitana na magari, juu kuna mahali amepita kati ya magari mbili, mlango imechukuliwa.
Wakati wowote hebu gari siwe zinapelekwa inspection, siwe zinakaguliwa kila kitu, na dereva wasiwe wanaendesha gari kwa kasi sana, kwa sababu ingekuwa imeenda yule mtu kwa kidogo angesave hiyo maisha hiyo imeenda.
Nancy Okware, Prime Edition.
The government is reassuring parents of a seamless grade 9 transition. That and much more coming after the break.
Isa hii ishafika na ni kubwa kubwa. Kweli? Hii Kristi ni bomba na Blue Santa kupitia star 570 hash option 1. Rudia. Star 570 hash option 1. Iko PlayStation 5 na 55 inch TV na iko 500,000 Kenyan shillings.
Mbuzi moja?
Na mbuzi. 1 million Kenyan shillings na Samsung S24 Ultra.
Na mbuzi moja?
Iko 2 million Kenyan shillings na iPhone 16 Pro Max.
Na mbuzi mbili.
Blue Santa amekuja na zawadi kibao. Nani kubwa hapa kuna ndogo ndogo. Hapa Christmas ni bomba.
Napenda kutumia nafasi hii baada ya kuzungumza nawe kuwatakia Wakenya wote heri na fanaka za Krismasi, na pia tunawatakia mwaka mwema wa 2025, mwaka ambao utakuwa na umaarufu mwingi kwao na kwa jamii zao. Asante sana.
Welcome back. The Ethics and the Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, have arrested 9 traffic police officers who were caught extorting money from motorists under the guise of traffic law enforcement. EACC spokesperson Eric Ngumbi said the 9 traffic officers were arrested at different spots notorious for bribe collection spots in Nakuru, Kajiado and Kisii between 25th and 31st December 2024 and processed at EACC offices and police stations. They were later released on cash bail pending finalization of the investigation and further action.
Following operations undertaken on major highways in the country during the festive season to combat traffic corruption, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, arrested 9 traffic police officers who are caught taking bribes from motorists in the guise of traffic law enforcement. EACC spokesperson Eric Ngumbi said the 5 officers were arrested at Salga in Nakuru along Nairobi-Nakuru Eldoret Highway on 30th December 2024, while 2 officers arrested along Nairobi-Namanga Road in Kajiado County, with the other 2 officers arrested in Kisii along Kisii-Rongo Road on 25th December 2024.
In the last 2 weeks, the Commission has undertaken surveillance operation on major roads across the country with a view to identify cases of corruption that are involving police officers and motorists.
The stations where the officers come from include Nyamarambe Police Traffic Base in Kisii, Salga Police Traffic Base in Nakuru, Kajiado Police Traffic Base in Kajiado, and Wanguru Police Station in Embu. Ngumbi revealed that the motorists offered bribes to police officers to escape sanction for traffic violations, such as ignoring speed limits, driving without a valid license and overloading.
Some of the fatalities that are experienced when road accidents occur, some of the permanent injuries that people do suffer as a result of these accidents could have been prevented if bribery was not taking place on our roads.
The Commission is, however, calling on all stakeholders, including motorists, traffic officers and members of the public, to embrace the culture of adhering to traffic laws to prevent road accidents and fatalities.
We urge members of the public to desist from the culture of disobeying the laid down traffic laws and then seek to bribe their way out of perceived trouble when they are caught in violation of traffic rules.
The Commission is also investigating reports that in some regions, senior police officers require public service operators to consolidate and submit their bribe payments to their officers on a weekly or monthly basis in exchange of protection while plying specific roads. Timothy Kipnusu for Prime Edition.
The Principal Secretary for Basic Education, Dr. Bello Kipsang, has reassured parents of a seamless transition of learners from grade 8 to 9 when schools reopen on 6th January. Speaking in Mombasa during the commissioning of grade 9 classrooms, Kipsang revealed that 13,200 grade 9 classrooms have already been constructed nationwide and over 2,800 others are at various stages of completion. 9.9 million grade 9 textbooks have been printed, with 85% of schools having already received the books.
As schools, learners and parents gear up for the first term of the 2025 education calendar, the government through the Ministry of Education is working round the clock to ensure a smooth transition from grade 8 to 9. Speaking during the commissioning of grade 9 classrooms in Mombasa, Basic Education Principal Secretary Dr. Bello Kipsang revealed that the government has so far constructed 13,200 grade 9 classrooms across the country, against a target of 16,000 classrooms, with the remaining 2,800 at various stages of completion.
I discussed with the chair of the Kenya Primary School Aids Association, and he gave me assurance that as teachers, they have already engaged and prepared themselves in various ways of dealing with challenges in every school. Some schools have halls, which they have already subdivided to use as classrooms. So schools have already put in place mechanisms of ensuring that come Monday, our children will not have challenges as they transit to grade 9.
9.9 million grade 9 textbooks have already been printed and distributed to 85% of the schools, with the process said to be completed when schools reopen on Monday.
I want to confirm that for grade 9 books, they have all been printed. 9.9 million books have been printed for grade 9, and distribution has been going on. I'm told 85% of the schools have received their books. The remainder of 14%, most of it is that some of the schools were not having teachers around that time to receive the books. But I'm told between today, tomorrow, and over the weekend, they will all have received their books in readiness for Monday.
To alleviate teachers' shortage, the Teachers Service Commission has absorbed over 46,000 intern teachers into permanent and pensionable terms and also hired 20,000 junior school teachers.
As we talk today, we have more than 80,000 teachers in our junior schools to be able to take care of our kids. We are aware that what we require is around more than 140,000. But as we progress, we shall ensure that all these teachers who are required by our learners are available for them.
For Prime Edition, I'm Abdulaziz Abeid.
A reformed street boy, Ronald Emuria, has hosted a luncheon for over 400 street children in Lodwar, Turkana County to celebrate the new year. This and other stories in our county news segment.
Ronald Emuria, popularly known as Manuele, is a former street boy who turned his life around by venturing into the business world. To give back to the community, Ronald hosted over 400 street children at his premises in Lodwar.
So mimi nimeamua kuwafalisha hawa pia wang'are, tuwakumbuke. So nasema tu ukweli hao watoto wetu wanaumia wako street. In fact wameongezeka zaidi. Nilikuwa naomba kama serikali pia wanaweza fanya jambo tutoa hao watoto kwa street. Juu wanaongezeka usiku na mchana. Na pia wale wako na wazazi. Please wazazi muende mtoe watoto wenu kwa street. Murudishe nyumbani. Najua mjiwezi lakini mtoto ni muhimu. Usiache mtoto wako aumie.
And tens of thousands in Homa Bay County have benefited from bursaries worth over 215 million shillings. While distributing the bursary checks in Suba South, Homa Bay Governor Gladys Wanja reaffirmed the county's commitment to prioritizing education.
Within the next 5 days, we will be distributing this to our children who are going back to school. This is part of our bursary program that we do every year. We hope that we will have 32,000 beneficiaries of the bursaries and 500 beneficiaries of the scholarship.
In Embu County, a group of university students drawn from Embu County has called for concerted efforts among all stakeholders in the country to combat gender-based violence menace, which they say has increasingly affected youth, especially those in tertiary learning institutions.
It is something that we would like to curb as the youth. We would like to start from with us, talking about it, getting possible solutions, advising one another, and suggesting possible solutions from everybody, all the stakeholders of the country.
Finally, a section of women leaders in Kisii County under the umbrella of Gusii Women in Leadership Network have decried the elusive gender equality in leadership.
The platform of Gusii, peer platform for leadership development, make the women leader ready, that anytime opportunity comes, they are being given that opportunity. They are equal to the opportunity, they have the leadership skills, they are well connected, they are able to learn the mistake others made.
For Prime Edition, I am Teresa Mutai.
Kenya Union of Domestic Hotels, Educational Institutions, Hospitals and Allied Workers is calling on the Ministry of Education to reconsider its decision to lay off subordinate staff who were working in public secondary schools. Kudea Secretary General Albert Njeru is proposing that the over 500,000 subordinate workers who have already been issued with the redundancy letters effective the 1st of this month should instead be redeployed to junior secondary schools. Njeru is further calling for the release of the capitation funds before the schools reopen next week.
Capitation inahesabiwa kwa kila mtoto, na kama inahesabiwa kwa kila mtoto ni kumaanisha wazazi wale wako sasa form 2, form 3, form 4 itajitikana wajitoe waongeze school fees ili mahitaji ya wafanyikazi, mahitaji ya wanafunzi, mahitaji ya vitabu na zile zingine zote siweze kukamilishwa. Kwa hivyo tunataka kongamano kamili, tuwe na policy ya kuonyesha vile tutaando wafanyikazi capitation na vile wafanyikazi wale wako secondary school saa hii watapelekwa kwa junior secondary schools.
But Tsotso community elders in Kakamega County have appealed to the government to allocate funds for activities that promote positive cultural practices. During a cultural extravaganza, the elders noted that modernity has wiped out some African traditions and there is a need to revive them for prosperity.
At Shikoti Market in Lurambi constituency, Kakamega County, a display of the Batsoso community culture is underway. The extravaganza includes traditional rites, musical performances, and a bullfighting competition. To cap the festivities, the community crowned Nicholas Omolo as chairperson.
Kama uwezi kufalisha ngosi, ukosa kufalisha ye mkuki mrefu tunaita disaka, wewe uwezi kuwa wa utamaduni wa watoto. Lakini sisi tunataka leo tuwaambie hata wakiwa kwa mtandao, lakini ya muhimu wajue ya kwamba mtoto anataka nini, ni nini mbaya, ni nini nani.
Batsoso community elders called for state and non-state support for cultural events.
Nina wito kwa serikali ya county na serikali ya national government kwamba tupewe wafanya allocation ya pesa ambayo itakuwa ikisponsor sherehe kama hizi. Manake hii inakosanisha mila.
A similar cultural event was organized at Eshisiru Market in Lurambi constituency. Kasi Chanamasha, Prime Edition.
Welcome back. It's now time for business. Creatives should prioritize registration of intellectual property of their innovations to protect their inventions. Factory Y CEO Dr. Kevin Desai is also challenging innovators to partner or collaborate with established counterparts to foster skills transfer.
One of the key areas around this platform is the need to promote new businesses, businesses that are based on innovation and intellectual property. Businesses today could be considered as in the area of commerce as far as trade, manufacturing and services. Those businesses that invest or have been created based on research are more likely to actually survive. And I would prioritize it as technology transfer, as adopting the fourth industrial revolution, as finding ways in which we're able to promote greater levels of commerce based on intellectual property, innovation and ideas. This will ensure that we are more sustainable.
Star 570 hash. Option 1 kuna PS5 na ni full package na inakuja na JBL Party Box. hiyo boom experience pia iko.
This is my husband. He's John Dennis. Him and I were involved in a road traffic accident. All I remember is hearing brakes and a crash. My husband was on the floor of the matatu with one hand hanging to one seat, and he was unconscious. So I tried calling him and hitting him until he woke up. So when he woke up, he told me, I can't feel my legs. The doctor came in, Dr. Okanga, and he told us Dennis will never be able to walk again. It broke me because he's been my husband for what, 12 years. Psychologically, I am not fine. I'm doing counseling. Being a primary caregiver is not easy.
Slow down. Speeding ruins lives.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come.
The holiday season is here again.
Surprise! Merry Christmas!
It's family time. It's a season to be jolly, and so grab a seat, relax as your favorite Christmas hosts line up to indulge you this year.
You want some of me?
We got Mr. Claus, the famous Father Christmas. We've got the elves and the reindeers. There's lots of foods and drinks to go around. Great music for the soul.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me
It's unbeatable. It's joyous. It's Christmas on KBC Channel 1.
Welcome back. Now, how to deal with waste such as discarded plastic bottles has been a headache for policymakers and environmentalists. A developer is using thousands of discarded plastic bottles to put up buildings with the aim of fostering environmental conservation and promoting sustainability. The discarded plastic bottles are collected, sorted, then filled with soil for use in building.
We want to see more being done in terms of safe recycling of this sort of trash. Because what happens is in our place where we are right next to a stream that drains water into Sand River, and Sand River eventually, which is a seasonal river, but when it's flowing, will drain its water into the Mara River. But look at what we have now in a beautiful place like the Masai Mara. We have a lot of trash scattered everywhere, and it's in the magnitudes. And I cannot insist enough that we will wipe out a whole generation if we do not take seriously matters concerning microplastic. We want to see the county government doing a little bit more, and collaboration also with people that are really passionate about seeing a future and a green future for that matter for the Masai Mara.
Now to international business stories, where Chinese car maker BYD has seen its sales jump as it competes with Tesla to be the world's best-selling electric vehicle maker of 2024. BYD says it's sold 207,734 electric vehicles in December, taking its annual total to 1.76 million as subsidies and discounts helped attract customers. Here are the details of this and other stories making headlines across the borders.
US electric car maker Tesla maintained a slim lead in electric vehicle sales over the BYD in the previous quarter, but the Shenzhen-based firm has been narrowing the gap. BYD's total vehicle sales jumped more than 41% in 2024 year-on-year, was powered by its hybrid cars. BYD has benefited from a rise in car sales in its home market as intense competition drove down prices and government subsidies encouraged customers to replace their old vehicles with electric vehicles or other more fuel-efficient options. BYD sells 90% of its cars in China, where it's been extending its lead over the foreign brands like Volkswagen and Toyota. Meanwhile, Russian gas has stopped flowing to European countries via Ukraine after a 5-year deal expired, marking the end of a decades-long arrangement. Russia has lost an important market, but its president Vladimir Putin says EU countries will suffer most. The EU has significantly reduced imports of gas from Russia since it launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022, but a number of eastern member states still depend largely on supplies earning Russia about $5.2 billion a year. Russian gas was less than 10% of the EU's gas imports in 2023, down from 40% in 2021. And finally, many Japanese people aged above 65 years have chosen to remain in the workforce to earn a top-up income to their pensions, as well as continue to make their own contributions to society. As Japan is aging rapidly, over 9 million people in the country aged over 65 are still employed. This is despite Japanese laws allowing retirement at 60. Elderly people are involved in a wide range of sectors, including services, manufacturing, construction, and logistics. Latest data indicates that the number of employed people over 65 years in Japan has reached 9.14 million, increasing for 20 consecutive years and setting a new record.
We now change gears. It's now time for sports. President William Ruto has said the government will go beyond boundaries to promote multinational sports in their efforts to enhance regional integration. He was speaking in Siaya when he officially launched the 20,000-seater Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Stadium. President William Ruto also graced a thrilling match between Kenya Premier League champions Gor Mahia and Kitara FC from Uganda, where Kogolo emerged victorious. Also in attendance was Uganda President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and Africa Union Commission Chairperson candidate Raila Odinga, as well as Siaya Governor James Orengo, among others.
Simumesikia Right Honorable akisema hii kiwanja ilianzishwa na Rasanga. James Orengo akakuja akaiendeleza. Mahali imefika sasa, hiyo relay iliyoanza kwa Rasanga imefika kwa Orengo. Sasa kutokea leo imefika kwangu. Na mimi ile kazi imebaki sasa hapa ya kukamilisha hii kiwanja ya Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Stadium mpaka kuweka canopy. Hiyo sasa itakuwa ni kazi ya serikali ya kitaifa na tutakamilisha hiyo kazi.
Mara ya mwisho nilikuwa kwenye michezo ilikuwa 1966. Nilikuwa nacheza mpira. Lakini baadaye nikaenda kwenye vita, nikasahau mambo ya michezo. Hii ndio mara ya kwanza kuja kwenye mchezo. Sijawahi kwenda kwenye mchezo kama leo. Huu mkutano ni tofari moja kwa kujenga umoja wa East Africa na Central Africa. Na hii stadium hii leo imetajwa jina ya Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Stadium. Ni heshima kubwa sana. Nataka kwanza kutoa shukrani aliyekuwa gavana ya kwanza wa Siaya, Bwana Rasanga, ambaye alianzisha ujenzi wa stadium hii. Alifanya kazi nzuri, akawacha pale gavana wa sasa James Agre Baborengo akakamilisha kazi hii. Kazi imefika hapa ni mzuri, lakini tunataka serikali kuu ya Baba Rais Ruto imalize kazi hii.
And interesting, really. Now, it was an emotional service as hundreds of mourners gathered at the Kasarani Indoor Gymnasium to pay their tributes to the former Kenya volleyball setter, the late Janet Wanja, who passed away in her home on the 26th of last month after a long battle with gallbladder cancer. The late volleyball queen will be buried tomorrow at the Langata Cemetery.
If you're the kind who takes the time to help a stranger in the rain, there's a place for people like you.
A somber mood engulfed the Kasarani gym during the memorial service of the late Janet Wanja.
And lend a voice to those who cannot speak.
As she was brought to the place where she played for so many years at the club level and internationally with her teammates as the pallbearers.
She was arguably one of the finest sportswomen who broke barriers to beat records.
Emotions ran high among the mourners during the memorial service led by the Crisco Church. Her former and current players eulogized her for her dedication and inspiration to many upcoming volleyball players, both at the club and national team level. Speakers who were drawn from her employer Kenya Pipeline Company, the Kenya Volleyball Federation, Ministry of Sports and National Olympic Committee of Kenya heaped praises on the late volleyball queen's influence and impact on her colleagues as a great setter and above all, a team player.
We have lost a star, we have lost a mentor, we have lost a trendsetter, we have lost a marketing agent.
In her 19 years of service, Wanja embraced the need for commitment of time and completely devoted herself to the success of the company.
Janet took up a role with gusto and energy associated with how she always handled any assignments to prepare the team.
Her beloved family, led by her mom Sarah Mungai and brother Kevin Kimani of AFC Leopards, who is currently on loan to Mathare United, eulogized her selflessness of the pitch.
Wanja alisafa sana. She suffered. Na wakati daktari alikuja kaniambia, hata kemo hatuwezi kumfanya. Kwa sababu imesambaa sana. Nililia, nikalia mpaka machozi, labda ndio iko dry size.
It is hard for me to put into words the great loss that I'm bearing. I have never known a life without you.
Her twin player Jane Washu also managed to fly in from her base in Seychelles and spoke of her precious moments together when they lit the volleyball scene, which was seconded by her longtime coach, David Lungaho.
Beauty with brains, beauty with talent. So it hurts. But sitaki kujirudia. May her soul rest in peace.
He's one of the players that I really thought was going to transit positively to in coaching and become a very good coach because of the way I handle her. So disciplined player, willing to learn.
Janet Wanja Mungai, an alumni of Sacred Hearts Mukum Girls, began her volleyball career in 2004 and played for Kenya Commercial Bank and Kenya Pipeline volleyball clubs. She featured prominently for the national team Malkia Strikers to represent the country in the African Championship, World Championship, World Cup, World Grand Prix and Olympic Games. Her last assignment was with the Malkia Strikers at the 2024 Paris Olympic Games as the trainer. The late Janet Wanja will be interred tomorrow at the Langata Cemetery.
Christmas ni saa hii ishafika na ni kubwa kubwa. Kweli? Hii Kristi ni bomba na Blue Santa kupitia star 570 hash option 1. Rudia. Star 570 hash option 1. Iko PlayStation 5 na 55 inch TV na iko 500,000 Kenyan shillings. Na mbuzi moja? Na mbuzi. 1 million Kenyan shillings na Samsung S24 Ultra. Na mbuzi moja? Iko 2 million Kenyan shillings na iPhone 16 Pro Max. Na mbuzi mbili. Blue Santa amekuja na zawadi kibao. Na ni kubwa kubwa. Hapa kuna ndogo ndogo. Hapa Christmas ni bomba.
Napenda kutumia nafasi hii baada ya kuzungumza nawe kuwatakia Wakenya wote heri na fanaka za Krismasi, na pia tunawatakia mwaka mwema wa 2025, mwaka ambao utakuwa na umaarufu mwingi kwao na kwa jamii zao. Asante sana.
Welcome back. The national soccer team, Harambee Stars, has arrived in Zanzibar in readiness for the 2025 Mapinduzi Cup, which kicks off tomorrow in Pemba. Head coach Francis Kimanzi expressed confidence in the team preparations, highlighting that the annual tournament will serve as an excellent opportunity to fine-tune the squad for the upcoming international competitions. Harambee Stars will face Burkina Faso in their opening match on Saturday before they face Kilimanjaro Stars and Zanzibar Heroes on the 7th and 10th of this month. The tournament, which will run until January 13th, will be played on a league basis, with all matches scheduled to take place at Gombani Stadium in Pemba. This event also offers the team a valuable preparation ahead of the Africa Nations Championship CHAN, set to be co-hosted by Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania. Shitiko Young FC and Nakwana Starlets are the champions of the 2024 DRM Games that came to an end at the Halala Primary School in Webuye as the new year began. Royal and Tulionga won the women and the men volleyball titles respectively.
Pre-tournament favourites Sitiko Young FC defeated Milo FC 4-3 on post-match penalties after the two sides played to a goalless draw at full time in the men's final, while Nakwana Starlets beat Young Starlets 1-0 in the women's final to win the 2024 DRM Games football titles. On their way to the final, Sitiko dispatched Flyover FC 2-0 in the semi-final, while Milo FC narrowly defeated Chebosi FC 2-1 in the second semi-final. Nakwana Starlets defeated Mwangaza Starlets 3-1 on penalties to secure a place in the women final against Young Starlets, who edged Musananda Queens 3-2 in the other semi-final. Royal and Tulionga won the women and men volleyball titles, with Royal stunning Misiku in 3 straight sets in the women final, while Tulionga defeated Mangana 3-2 in the men's final. Inua AI CEO Humphrey Muchuma, while at the games, highlighted the role of sports in fostering societal values and driving development when nurtured effectively. Muchuma praised the local youth for their enthusiasm in exploring artificial intelligence, noting that digital technologies are poised to create numerous career opportunities in the country.
AI ni ya ukweli. na haitakuja kuchukua kazi yako, itakuja kufanya kazi yako iwe rahisi. So kama ulikuwa unafanya kazi, itachukua aseme 50% of the work, na wewe utafanya 50%. So inamaanisha kama wewe hautumii AI ama hautumii kompyuta jinsi venye AI inafanya kazi, wewe utakuwa misplaced. Na hii inaenda section zote, kuanzia walimu, madaktari, lawyers, it doesn't haitabagua.
The enthusiasm surrounding the tournament highlighted the community's commitment in providing a platform for youth development in both sports and technology.
Mambo ya kiteknolojia ni muhimu sana, na mnajua vile ambavyo rais wetu amesema unaweza bonyeza kompyuta ukapata dola, si ndio? Na sisi kama watu wa private sector tunafanya pamoja na yeye kuweza kuhakikisha vijana wetu wengi wanaweza kupata kazi kutumia hiyo teknolojia. Na sisi kama kampuni tukuna kazi kama 700 ambayo tutadistribute across the country in the first half of this year.
A coalition of stakeholders from the tech and education sectors who attended the games urged the youth to cultivate their talents in sports and technology, emphasizing the importance of continued engagement beyond the December holidays.
Over 700 athletes are expected to compete in the 6th and final leg of the Betika Athletics Kenya Cross-Country Series, with KBC hosting the event this weekend at the Cardinal Otunga High School in Mosocho. There will be cash prizes for the top 10 athletes in all the categories.
It will be the first event for Kenya as we head to Tokyo, as we have embarked on the road to Tokyo. So we are calling upon all international athletes, local athletes, both within Kenya and outside Kenya, to turn up in great numbers. We expect athletes from Southern Sudan who have written and indicated that they would like to race at Cardinal Otunga Mosojo High School, which they know that has a good history of athletics. Some athletes we also expect athletes from Uganda and Tanzania, and many other athletes who are training within Kenya would like to come and compete on 4th. And we are appealing to our people within Kisii County, Nyamai County, Migori County, Homa Bay County to turn up in great numbers to support the athletes, to cheer the athletes, and witness how the Kenyan champions compete at home.
Well, Paul Nganga and a few of you have said that they were inspired by the story of the reformed street boy, Ronald Emuria. Thank you so much for your feedback. From me and the rest of the team, we do want to wish you a very good night.
Cheer your favorite team and win big.
on MeChezobet.com. Casino, Aviator, and other crash games also available at MeChezobet. Sign up today. This message has been approved by BCLB license number 664. Gambling can be addictive. Play responsibly. Terms and conditions apply.
I want to appreciate every Kenyan who has been good to each other. I want to appreciate every other person, and I want to ask each one of you to continue spreading love, kindness. And this holiday, I want to ask each one of you to remember to wash their hands. Remember to handle your food with the highest hygiene levels. And remember to register to the Social Health Authority. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous Happy New Year of screening, diagnostics, and ensuring that we take care of our health.